Hey guys, it's Mark, aka the Arachnoholic, back at it again with another video. Today, it's going to be another top 5 list, and that's going to be my top 5 most underrated tarantulas. These are going to be teas that I feel are either overlooked by the majority of hobbyists or are just plain underrated. And I want to take a moment today to give them their time in the spotlight. So, if you enjoy my videos, before we get in, feel free to drop a like, comment, subscribe, check out that Patreon. Let me know what your most underrated or overlooked tarantula is. I'd really love to hear that. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. So at number 5, we have a large African arboreal species that hails from the jungles of West Africa. I'm talking about none other than the Stromatopelma calceatum, or the feather-legged baboon tarantula. A close cousin to the more well-known Heteroscodra maculata, or the Togo starburst baboon, the Stromatopelma calceatum gets significantly larger, and while it is not quite as flashy as the H-Mac, its coloration and patterns are still quite pretty to look at, especially under the correct lighting. They also spend a good deal of time out in the open, and while they can be reclusive at times, I still tend to see mine out and about more often than my H-Macs. They also get a good size, are great eaters, and are quite copious webbers as well. So if you're looking for a really fascinating baboon tarantula, definitely don't pass up on this one. Next up is a tarantula that I consider to be criminally underrated. These are very beautiful, as well as fun tarantulas to keep, and you just don't hear too many people talk about them. And that is the Psalmopoeus cambridgei, or the Trinidad chevron tarantula. This is a New World species, and is a close cousin to the Venezuelan sun tiger. However, unlike the majority of New Worlds, the Psalmopoeus genus lack the urticane bristles, and thus defend themselves by using their lightning-fast speed or their potent venom. While they're not as medically significant as many Old World tarantulas, their venom still packs a punch and can be quite painful. The P. cambridgei attains a very modest size of 7 inches or more, which is quite large for a Psalmopoeus tarantula. Unlike the Venezuelan sun tiger, or the P. erminia, they tend to spend a great deal more time out in the open, and they are insane feeders. So definitely don't pass one of these up. At number 3, we have a tarantula that belongs to an entire genus that is, in my opinion, massively underrated. And that is the Ephibopas murinus, or the skeleton leg. I will admit I was never all that much into fossorial species, but this tarantula has definitely changed my opinion on that. With its unique build and striking bone-like markings on the legs, which give the spider its name, it is no wonder why this tarantula has become such a staple within the hobby. This is a medium-sized tarantula, with females reaching a leg span of about 5.5 to 6 inches. And as I said, they are a fossorial, so they require deep, moist substrate. One downside to them is that unfortunately you won't see them out and about a whole lot due to their reclusive nature, and they are most certainly what many keepers would refer to as a pet hole. But it is such a treat when you do get to see them out in the open in all of their glory. One unique feature that this tarantula, as well as others in its genus, have is that its urticane bristles are located on the pedipalps as well as the front pair of legs, versus the abdomen, as is typical with most New World tarantulas. Like all Ephibopas tarantulas, your skeletons are pretty spunky tarantulas, and will not hesitate to bite if they are bothered. They are also quite fast when they want to be, so this is most certainly not a tarantula you would get if your intention was to handle it. They also can be a little bit tricky to keep, particularly when they are spiderlings, as their humidity requirements are a bit more advanced in that regard, and they are a lot more sensitive to changes within their environment. This next tarantula is a bit of a pet hole, but is an absolute treat when you do catch it out and about. And that is the Ephiopus cyanognathus, or the blue-fanged tarantula. A close cousin to the skeleton leg, the blue-fang has got to be one of the most colorful tarantulas out there. While it does spend the majority of its time hidden out of sight, it is an insanely fun tarantula to keep. They make really neat burrows, which they incorporate a lot of web into. And they also are incredible feeders, and are by far one of the fastest tarantulas I've ever seen. So caution is definitely advised when rehousing. Something really interesting about the Ephiopus genus is their urticating bristles are located on their pedipalps and the front pair of legs rather than their abdomen. Because of this, they are able to flick the hairs directly towards an attacker without having to face away from it. And finally, my number one most underrated tarantula, so far anyway, is the Y. diversipes, formerly known as the Avicularia diversipes, or the Amazon sapphire pinktoe. I'm sure more people are familiar with the C. versicolor, which was also formerly in the Avicularia genus, but the diversipes is an absolute stunner that just does not receive the attention it deserves. It's one of the spunkier and somewhat faster moving pinktoes out there, so caution is definitely advised when working with them or around them, but they are nowhere near as bad to work with as certain old world tarantulas are. They are quite heavy webbers and are some of the most drop-dead gorgeous tarantulas available in the hobby. It seems like each and every molt reveals a new set of colors and patterns, and they are just absolute beauties. So guys, that is my list of top 5 tarantulas that deserve a much bigger spotlight on the list of awesome tarantulas. Please, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and check out that Patreon. I will post a link in the description below. There, I'm going to post a couple of Q&A sessions. We also have a live stream coming up, which I'm planning, that I'm very excited about. And I definitely look forward to seeing you guys over there. Until then, stay awesome.